All right, so we got Pokemon Day officially confirmed for February 27th, 2025, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Super early in the morning. Great way to start the day, right? So we kind of have an idea of what to expect, right? But I wanted to go into just some things I'm expecting, some realistic expectations, and then let's go for some wish list hopeful items, right? Let's have some fun. But the beginning, I think the big items we're going to see, the most time being covered, or at least the most hype announcements. Let's not give time, because time can they can talk about a lot of merch and stuff for you know 10-15 minutes if they wanted to. But anyway, what I think the biggest announcements or things we're gonna see are Pokemon TCG Pocket is going to get some kind of big spot in the presentation, given how well the game has done in its short time being out since last year, and just kind of the response the overall community has had towards the game. I think TCG Pocket has the best chance at getting like a major update or freebies or something during this event of all the mobile games that they'll show anyway. So and it's exciting. Like TCG Pocket's good. It deserves it. The next thing I think we're gonna see a bigger update, or at least some kind of big mention. One that I'm certainly excited for are some Pokemon Unite global updates. If you're familiar with Unite or have followed it or played it at all, you might be aware that the China version has more features, different features, and a whole bunch of stuff that the global version doesn't have yet. I think they've recently put out a blog on the Unite Japanese homepage that talks about updates coming to the game that confirmed global updates global version will be updated to match the China version in small parts. It's not going to be one big update. It's going to be a bunch of small updates, and that makes sense. So I think we'll get a trailer showing Pokemon Unite getting those global features, or at least the first little bit, maybe a roadmap or some kind of idea of what to expect. Maybe some new Pokemon revealed there. Although they can't seem to keep it secret anymore. People data mine the mess out of that game, so there's no real surprises when a new Pokemon's announced. But maybe we'll get shocked here. I sure hope so. So that leaves us our third big thing, and I don't know how much time I can spend talking on this because we already know, we already know what we know. But Pokemon ZA, Pokemon Legends ZA is getting some kind of gameplay or release date trailer showcasing visuals, gameplay, and maybe some story. I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited to see just where this goes and what to expect. I'm really hoping we get a release date. I feel like it's going to be summer. I don't know why. It just feels like we've known about the game for a year. And when we learned about Legends Arceus, we got it almost a year later. Well, here we are like a year later, but the game still isn't ready. I don't know. We haven't seen a whole lot on it. I could be wrong. Maybe it's earlier. Maybe it's late spring, right? We get it like the last day of May or something crazy. But I could see it being a summer title. I don't know why. I just kind of feel like that might happen. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. If they're going to try to cross-gen it with Switch 2 coming up in, whenever we get a release date for that, which again feels like could be late April, May, maybe the middle of summer. Who knows? But I think that's realistic, right? I think it's not going to be shadow dropped or available next week or anything. I think ZA is going to come out right around or shortly after the Switch 2 launches. I don't think it's going to matter that the Switch 2 launches. I don't think Pokemon Company would have shifted a lot of dev work for this game to come out on and take advantage of the Switch 2. Maybe there's a patch, but I've been burned on patches before. Thanks Scarlet and Violet for hyping me up for something that was never planned to happen. Anyway, I don't want to go down that road. Anyway. So, yeah, ZA, I'm excited to see, right? Like, we've wanted to know more, want to see more of what we're going to be doing in the Kalos region again. Well, I guess specifically Lumiose City. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. We know we're going to get a super hype thing out of it. I'm definitely pumped for it. But let's talk about some of the smaller stuff, right? The smaller things that we kind of meme and make fun of and ignore. I feel like we're going to get the usual game updates for mobile. Cafe Remix, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Go is probably going to do something. Pokemon Sleep might get Something nobody cares about this stuff. I feel like the people that are excited about it just wait for the in-game announcement. I enjoy Pokemon Sleep. I used to enjoy Pokemon Go. Cafe Remix is fun. I've never played Masters, but out of all of that, those updates get disseminated just randomly anyway. So why would I be excited for the announcement here? I don't know. I'll watch it. I'll have comments on it, but none of that's really gonna matter in this video, right? Like we're all going to be hyped up for ZA, TCG Pocket. I think at this point, we'll probably see some new animations, right? There's usually some like short animation series that gets talked about. Maybe updates to the main series, which I believe is on Netflix. So that's something we could see, right? Like they'll talk about that a little bit. I don't know why I said that weird, but that's something we'll see. They won't spend much time on it. I don't think it's going to take up, I think a total of maybe 10-15 minutes on the smaller things. But yeah, I think that's it. I think you're gonna get about 45 minutes of cool stuff. All right, well, let's get into what I'm calling the wish list, very unlikely, hopeful thinking, optimist kind of expectations, right? So I remember rumors last year talking about Black and White remakes being likely to happen. That was the expectation. We got Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, then we got Scarlet and Violet, and now the expectation would be Black and White. That's the logical one, right? I don't know if that's gonna happen. It might happen this year. I hope it does. I hope if they don't happen this year, they're still on the schedule to release. I hope that they are being worked on. But there could be a skip in the remake generations, and they could go straight to X and Y for a remake, remaster situation. And that would be to bolster ZA, or at least hype up ZA. But I don't know. Would that be shadow dropped then? Would that be like an March, April release, maybe? It's kind of weird, right? But I think it could follow a pattern similar to how Diamond Pearl remakes were released, and then like 3 months later, we got the Legends Arceus game released in like that next January. So maybe they'll do something like that. X and Y remakes would be great. I think people would be really excited for it. Maybe they could rework some of how the game flowed, because I think that was where we started to see Game Freak's kind of weird design as far as story flow kind of start creeping in. I'm not saying they've always been weird. I'm just saying that one had a different progression in the story, and it wasn't necessarily bad. It just happened, and yeah, I think that could be good, if they were to release remakes for X and Y to go along with Legends ZA. I'd be fine with that. I would play that. That would be fun. I still wish Black and White wouldn't get skipped and those would come out first, but the Unova region would be pretty awesome to dive into on like the Switch 2 engine, whatever they end up doing for the Switch 2. And then the last thing, the least likely thing to show up that I would want the most is for them to finally release Gen 1, 2, and 3 on Nintendo Switch Online service, just as a shadow drop. Hey, you can go play Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, even the original Green for those of us outside of Japan. Give us Gold, Silver, Crystal, give us Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green. Make them compatible with Pokemon Home. We know it's possible. It worked on the 3DS. It can work here too. There's no reason that they haven't done this, except that they just don't want to. Maybe they don't want people playing the older games anymore. Maybe they don't want the complexity of the older games having to be translated to Pokemon Home. I don't know. I don't know why they haven't done this. This would bolster Switch Online subscriptions. This would hype up some retro Pokemon games. Third gen is very beloved by a lot of people. I've never played it. I would love to sit down and finally play it. I think that would be reasonable. Do I think this would happen though? I don't know. I don't think it's likely. For whatever reason, again, Game Freak seems averse to re-releasing the older games again. They were successful on the 3DS, or at least moderately successful, right? The Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Home compatibility probably helped You know, I would like to see that happen. And that's my biggest wish list item. Like that's the biggest thing I think isn't going to happen, but I really want it to, is the classic games being re-released on Switch Online. I think the platform would benefit from it greatly. It would hype up people to subscribe to Switch Online to play those games, and I would do it. I already have my Switch Online subscription. I would just play on the service a little more. I would trade, I would battle, I would, I would stream them. Yeah, I like them. They're some of my favorite games of all time. I would love them to be released there. So I don't know why they haven't, and it's very weird. But yeah, it's just kind of quick overview of what I think is going to happen next week, Pokemon Day 2025. If you guys have any thoughts on that, let me know down in the comments. What do you want to see? What do you hope to see? Are you still excited for Legends ZA? I think I am. I'm very interested to see what's going on. It's been a year or more, it feels like. I don't know how time works anymore. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and see ya.